excitement over it. His dream is to go to Japan, is to go to
Oh,
Tokyo.
that's
Yeah, totally. So I've actually made him a promise that over the next few years we'll get there.
My name is Ayaka from Japan. Pleased to meet you.
Hello, Ayaka. Colin.
Hi, I'm a huge fan of yours, so I'm very nervous but very honored to talk with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you. So congratulations on the release of this new film. So first of all, could you please tell me how you came to be involved in this project?
Yeah. I got a call from, as often happens, I got a call from my agents just saying that Ron Howard was making, the first thing they said was, do you remember the Thai football team that got lost in a cave and there was a rescue a few years ago? Because it was only, 2018, so it's only a few years ago. And I remember that well, and they said that Ron Howard was going to be making a film about those events. And I'd been a fan of Ron's for so long, going all the way back to Splash and Parenthood and those earlier films. And then obviously a lot of the stuff he's done since Cinderella Man to Apollo 13. And I just think he's an extraordinary filmmaker. And he's one of those filmmakers that makes films for the masses, but still makes specific stories that are full of heart and usually have great performances at their center. And so, yeah, I was really excited. I kind of had a feeling that the mixture of the aspect of this being a true story, something that we all kind of remember having an experience of as we watched it unfold through the news, and then Ron Howard's kind of humanity as a filmmaker would be a really lovely mix, you know?
Thank you so much. So I myself cannot swim, so I felt a lot of fear from this film. And I heard that the actual shooting was also in the cave. So how was the filming in such a narrow space? What was the most difficult part of filming?
The most difficult part of filming was definitely the diving. Yeah. I mean, we probably spent 30 or 40% of the whole shoot in the water. I didn't realize, I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there'd be some diving, but I didn't think we'd be doing as much as we did. I thought they'd be doing a few like close shots on our faces, and then they'd get a bunch of stunt divers to come in. But we did, I think we did most of the stuff ourselves, and it was very well controlled. I mean, they had safety divers there, a lot of them, and they were a really cool team that offered us support and offered their awareness. And but at the end of the day, we were kind of aware that anything could go wrong at any moment, and we were still in water. And they built these 4 or 5 different cave networks that they then submerged into this pool of water. So when we were shooting in the caves, I mean, there was a roof on top of your head, so you couldn't, there were holes on the side of the tunnel, so you could get out that way, of course, and you got in that way. But I was a little bit claustrophobic and a little bit panicky, shall we say, a couple of times. There was a few times I kind of lost my shit almost.
Okay, thank you so much. So in this film, I was very moved by Mr. John's encouragement of the children in the cave. So what was the aspect of Mr. John that you most wanted to express in your performance?
John was very generous with me. John Volantin, he made himself available. I mean, John has a life. John is not that interested in being a public figure. He's not that interested in any fame or celebrity that could come by way of this whole experience. So he's a busy man in his life, John, but he made himself very available to me. So we had FaceTimes, like you and me talking now. Me and John had FaceTimes. We talked for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it was just his decency, his decency and his humility, and his seeming lack of interest in claiming any glory or acknowledging truly how special he is. I mean, he understands what they achieved as an extraordinary event, but he also is just so measured. But I think the one thing with John that I just wanted to focus on, the one thing was just his decency as a man and his humility, and his desire to just be there and do all that he could to help the children.
Okay, thank you so much. So I heard you say in another interview that you cannot swim.
Not a great swimmer. I mean, I'm okay in a swimming pool. You know, I'm okay in a swimming pool. I can splash about and it looks like I can swim. But if you drop me in the ocean a quarter of a mile from the beach, I'm not going to make it.
Okay. Like after the filming this movie, so did you find yourself less afraid of the water or more afraid of the water?
I think neither. I think the same, because it was such a specific condition that we all found ourselves in. You know, it being cave diving. It's not like swimming, and it's not like I've done some scuba diving in open water in the ocean, and that's lovely and that's liberating, and you know, you feel like you're floating, flying, etc. This was a little bit different. It was like nothing any of us had ever experienced, just by virtue of being kind of enclosed in this confined space. So it for me, it did a kind of a psychological number on me. And there was a few times where, because sometimes there was, you know, you'd have somebody holding a light underwater and you had the cameraman underwater and you 2 or 3 other actors. And sometimes there were 5 or 6 of us in a very small space, and something would go wrong and one person would decide they had to back up, and then they'd back up into you and they'd hit you. And then you got to, it got a bit funky sometimes. So I don't know if I'm more or less nervous of water, since I'm not very comfortable. I'm a land dweller. I very much am, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna change subject a little bit. So I believe you came to Japan when the movie Dumbo was released. So could
Yes,
you
with Tim.
tell me about your impression of Japan?
Oh my God, I loved it so much. And funny you should ask, because my youngest son, who's 12, his dream, and I don't know where this came from. This didn't come from me, but I joined in his excitement over it. His dream is to go to Japan, is to go to Tokyo. Yeah, totally. So I've actually made him a promise that over the next few years we'll get there. I was so quick there, love. I was in and out in, I think it was 2 or 3 days, but I had a gorgeous time. And what I remember most significantly was just the kindness of the Japanese people, just so kind. And I just felt a great sense of peace there. Like, Tokyo's a huge and bustling and energetic city, a major global city, and yet I didn't feel the level of aggression that you can feel usually in major cities that are such centers of economy like Tokyo is. There's usually, you know, it's exciting and it's aggressive, and well, I felt Tokyo was exciting, but I didn't feel it was aggressive, which was very beautiful. I don't think I heard a car horn in like 3 days. It was strange, but it was so beautiful. And we went to we went to that park that's known for the cherry blossoms, and they were just beginning to come in. So we didn't see them in full bloom, but yeah, I look forward to getting back, and I look forward to getting outside of Tokyo the next time. I'd love to get up into the mountains and explore some of Japan outside of Tokyo as well.
Oh my God, thank you so much. It was a great honor to talk with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, love.
Thank
All
you.
the best.